All right, hey guys. Today we start on Durkheim. Durkheim's a French sociologist. He's writing roughly 40, 50 years after Marx. And he comes right now basically because I want to do this course in chronological order. Uh, he's not necessarily responding directly to Marx, but is kind of just thinking about how he can best help people. He's going to have a lot of different views than Marx, but you don't want to think of, and I may say it this way, so I want to be clear about it right now. He's not necessarily having an intellectual conversation with Marx's ghost or anything like that. Max Weber, who we're going to study after Durkheim, can be more accurately described in that way. Uh, what Durkheim is doing is he's just trying to solve the problems that are in front of him, and he comes chronologically now, and so I will probably play Durkheim and Marx off each other a little bit. All right. First thing to understand is that Durkheim is very concerned about people, just as Marx was. But as I said in the last Marx video, Durkheim sees people very differently. You remember, for Marx, it's this great view of human beings, right? I mean, I want to be the person that Marx thinks I am. He sees us as creative and as social, and the only thing society can do, that's not entirely true. Society as it is right now is alienating me. It is squashing my ability to have a fulfilled life by putting me in these reified social relations where I am exploited, where I'm not able to be creative. Society is in my way. It doesn't have to be. It could be constructed in a better way. Marx would consider that communism, although not the communism that the Soviet Union or China or Cuba have practiced. It's more of an idealized version. But anyway, Marx is a romantic. He sees the possibility of humans. He sees humans as being sort of these creative and social creatures. For Durkheim, it's not that way. Durkheim sees people as primarily, the way he described it is passionate. If you've ever studied any very basic level, not the crazy psychosexual stuff that Sigmund Freud wrote, but the sort of basic Freudian idea of id, ego, and superego. For Durkheim, people are id. They are pleasure-seeking, and they just sort of follow their emotions in whatever way their emotions drag them. And he said that this sort of insatiable desire is at the core of every human being, and that is what you want to hold in mind for everything that comes after for Durkheim. He cares about these people. He doesn't think we're bad. He just thinks, like, at our core, we are these unreasonable, irrational, passionate, pleasure-seeking creatures. And furthermore, that's not the road to a fulfilling life. I mean, you think about becoming a drug addict, and all of your life is about that pleasure-seeking. That's not a fulfilling life. So what Durkheim wants to do is find a way to create fulfilling lives. And what he says, first of all, human nature, passions. Again, the term passions is, today we talk about like following your passion. That's not the way Durkheim is talking about it. He's not talking about my passion to be a metal guitarist. He's talking about my passion to it's like hedonism, my passion to engage in just fun, pleasure-seeking activities. But the key to that, the way that we can deal with that and get people fulfilling lives, is through regulation. Now, that sounds kind of paradoxical. In Durkheim's view, it is the idea that because we are these passionate creatures, we have to have order sort of imposed on us. We're not going to impose order on ourselves. We have to have it imposed on us. And once we do that, then we can achieve great things. But in order for that to happen, we have to be regulated. That's his term is regulation. Okay, if society does not limit us, this is kind of restating, but I'm looking at my script. If society does not limit us, we will become slaves to the pursuit of more. So in order to be free of that passionate, let me think again about drug addiction. A person who is drug addicted isn't free. You know, they are constantly pursuing pleasure, but I mean, they're trapped, right? Durkheim kind of suggests that that is our natural state. And in order to have a fulfilling life, the difference between the fun of pleasure seeking and the happiness of fulfillment, we have to be regulated. So that is what we've got. Sorry, let me scroll down. So where Marx sees us as creative, Durkheim sees us as just as hedonists. The key to it, the key to fulfilling lives is to be well regulated. This is going to come up later on when we talk about his one of his great works, which is just called Suicide, and he talks about the fact that regulation can be our problem. The problem that he was staring at was too little regulation, but he was very aware. I mean, Durkheim's fantastic; he's a genius. He was very aware that it could be too much also. So you want to think well-regulated lives lead to fulfillment, not too little regulation, but also not too much. And the key to doing that is, and this is going to be the next big core element of Durkheim, is morality. Morality is, I think, going to be basically the foundation of the entire rest of our talk about Durkheim. So think about that. People are passionate and they need to have morality imposed on them in order to have fulfilling lives. We'll talk about specifically about his understanding of morality in our next lecture. So I'll see you guys then.